Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Tuesday, March 29th, 2022. Today I'm going to recap the Women's Elite Eight, the CIT semifinals, and look ahead to the NIT semifinals for tonight. The NBA, NHL, Major League Baseball, Spring Training, look ahead to today's games. Left field rankings for baseball this year. We'll recap American Idol from last night and Sunday night, news and notes, and best bet. We're going to start with NCAA women's. We will recap the Elite Eight games from yesterday. They were very interesting, to say the least. There was a classic game and a game that I felt was closer than the final score indicated. 2-seeded UConn over 1-seed NC State, 91-87, double overtime in the Bridgeport Regional Final as UConn advances to the Final Four. And in the Wichita Regional Final, 1-seed Louisville over 3-seed Michigan, 62-50, which a game that I felt was closer than that final score indicated. I thought Michigan played one hell of a game, but ultimately Louisville was the better team and just made the plays down the stretch. And then the Final Four begins on Friday, April 1st, which we will preview and predict on the podcast on that day. Now I'm going to recap the CIT games from yesterday. It was the semifinal. Two interesting games, to say the least. Well, it's really the TBC, not the CIT. It's the old CIT. I keep making that mistake on the show. Coastal Carolina over South Alabama, 69-68 in overtime in a rare Sun Belt matchup in that tournament. And Fresno State over Southern Utah, 67-48 in the other semifinal game. The final will take place on Thursday, March 31st, and we will preview and pick it, of course, on the podcast. All right, now I'll move on to the NIT. We have two games tonight. They're the semifinals. First of two, 7 o'clock ESPN, we have St. Bonaventure and Xavier from Madison Square Garden. My projection is St. Bonaventure by 2.5, total of 139.25. And it is, let's see here. Wouldn't be stunned if Xavier's favorites, but let's see. Bonaventure's 1.5 point favorite, total is 139.5. I really don't know. I'd say slightly in the St. Bonaventure. And then 9:30 on ESPN2, Washington State and Texas A&M from the Garden. My projection is A&M by 2.25, total 137.5, and it's 1.5 and 133.5. I like the over. These two teams could score, and I think that this will be a decent game, so I'm going to say over as my pick for this one. And the championship for the NIT will be on Thursday. We'll obviously preview and predict it on the podcast. All right, now we'll move on to the NBA. We'll recap the games from yesterday and look ahead to a smaller window for tonight. Nuggets over the Hornets, 113-109. Cavaliers over the Magic, 107-101. Hawks over the Pacers, 132-123. Heat over the Kings, 123-100. Knicks over the Bulls, 109-104. Raptors over the Celtics, 115-112 in overtime. Spurs over the Rockets, 123-120. Grizzlies over the Warriors, 123-95. And the Thunder over the Trailblazers, 134-131 in overtime. Now, 5 games tonight. It's 7 o'clock. You have the Bucks and the 76ers. Why isn't this game on TNT? Oh, yeah, because LeBron's playing. Oh, wait, he's out. So is Anthony Davis. Ridiculous that this game is not on TNT. I guess they don't forgive James Harden for how he left Brooklyn. That's another rant for another day. You know how I feel about the Lakers and the Knicks being on national TV this season. All right. I predict Sixers by 3, total 225.5, and it's 1.5 at 228.5. I like the under. I feel that there's going to be more defense played in this game than you think. Bulls Wizards. My projection is Chicago by 4.25, total 215 and a fifth, and it's 4 and 223. I love the under here. No Kyle Kuzma, no Lonzo Ball under, and the Bulls have been under lately. 7-3 of the Pistons and the Nets from the Barclays Center. My projection is Brooklyn by 12 and 3/4, total 217 and 3/10. It's 13.5 and 231. I love the under. The Pistons can't score. I know they can't defend either, but I love the under in this game. On TNT of the Lakers and the Mavs. This game has no business being on TNT. LeBron's not playing either as Anthony Davis. My projection is the Mavs by 21 and 3/4, total 224 and 13/20. And it's 12 and 219. I'm going to lay the 12 with Dallas. No LeBron, no AD. So, automatic lay with the Mavericks. And last but not least, 10 o'clock on TNT of the Jazz and the Clippers. The return of Paul George. He's questionable for tonight, but I think he's going to play. My projection is the Clippers by 1.5, total 219 and 3/5. It's Jazz by 1, total 217. Tough one. I'm going to take the one with the Clippers and put uneven money on the money line. I think the team's going to be motivated if Paul George is back, so I really like the Clippers tonight to win outright. All right, now move on to the NHL. We will recap the games from last night and look ahead to a busy window for tonight. Hurricanes over the Capitals 6-1. Blues over the Canucks 4-1. Sabres over the Blackhawks 6-5. All right, Coyotes over the the Oilers over the Coyotes 6-1, and the Kraken over the Kings 6-1. Big window tonight, 7 o'clock. You have the Maple Leafs and the Bruins. Boston's minus 126. Toronto's plus 104. Over under 6.5. Overs plus 104. Under's minus 128. Toronto plus 1.5 is minus 215. Boston minus 1.5 is plus 176. I'm going to go over 6.5 at plus 104. Hurricanes Lightning. Bolts minus 142. Canes plus 118. Over under 5.5. Overs minus 118. Under's minus 104. Canes plus 1.5 is minus 230. Lightning minus 1.5 is plus 190. I'm going to go with the Canes here as a home underdog. They're just better than Tampa Bay this year, and I think Tampa Bay gets too much favoritism and respect in the betting stuff this year because of them winning the last 2 Stanley Cups. The Canadiens and the Panthers. Panthers minus 400. Montreal plus 310. Over under 6.5. Overs minus 130. Unders plus 106. Montreal plus 2.5 is minus 142. Panthers minus 2.5 is plus 118. I'm going to go under 6.5. I just think that Montreal is a team that isn't very good at putting the puck in the net, so I like the under. Big game in the Metro Division. Rangers-Penguins. Pittsburgh's minus 164. Rangers are plus 136. Over under 6. Overs even money. Unders minus 122. Rangers plus 1.5 is minus 178. Pittsburgh minus 1.5 is plus 146. I love the over. I think Pittsburgh will put up a better performance in this game than they did on Friday night against the Rangers. So I really like the over. And I think the Rangers will put up some goals, but I could see this being like a 5-2 Penguins win. 5-4, 4-3, 5-3, something like that. So Penguins money line and the over is a good same game parlay. The Islanders and the Blue Jackets. Isles minus 144. Blue Jackets plus 120. Over under 6. Overs even money. Others minus 122. Isles minus 1.5 is plus 176. Blue Jackets plus 1.5 is minus 215. This is a tough one. I'm going to go Columbus at home. Plus 120. They have more points than the Islanders this season. I think the Islanders get more credit in the market because they're the Islanders and they're in the conference finals the last 2 years. 8 o'clock, Senators, Predators. Preds minus 235, Ottawa plus 190, over under 6.5, overs minus 102, unders minus 120. Ottawa plus 1.5 is minus 140. Nashville -1.5 is +116. I like the over. I think that Nashville's going to score a lot on Ottawa. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game in general, so I'm going to go over. Flyers Wild. Wild -400, Flyers +240, over under 6.5, overs -105, unders -115. Flyers +1.5 is +105, Wild -1.5 is +126. I'm going to go with the over. Flyers and overs are no-brainers to me. This has like 5-3 written all over it. 9 o'clock, Avalanche Flames. Flames -113, Avs -106, over under 6.5, overs -104, unders -118. Avs +1.5 is -255. Flames -1.5 is +205. This is the rare time you see the Avs as a slight dog. I agree with this, actually. I like the Flames -113 to win. I think this is a good spot for Calgary. And 10 o'clock, you have the Stars and the Ducks. Stars -178, Ducks +146, over under 5.5. Overs -132, unders +108. Stars -1.5 is +146, Ducks +1.5 is -176. I like the under. I think that the Ducks are a team that doesn't really score a lot and has good goaltending, and I think Dallas, is going to play hard defensively, so I like under 5.5 at +108. All right, now I'm going to move on to Major League Baseball spring training. We'll recap the results from yesterday and look ahead to today's window. Braves over the Blue Jays 5-4, Yankees over the Tigers 11-7, Phillies over the Orioles 7-1, Astros over the Cardinals 2-1, Marlins over the Nationals 8-1, Padres over the White Sox 9-8, Royals over the Guardians 19-9, D-backs over the Dodgers 5-3, Angels over the A's 7-2, Brewers over the Giants 5-2, Mariners over the Rangers 6-5, and the Cubs over the Reds 4-2. Today, 1 o'clock, Nats, Astros, Red Sox, Pirates, Twins, Rays, Phils, Yanks. 4 o'clock, D-backs, Cubs, Brewers, Guardians, Padres, Giants, Reds, Rangers, Angels, Rockies, Orioles, Mariners. 6:40, Mets, Marlins, and 9 o'clock, the A's and the Dodgers. Alrighty, now I'm going to do my Major League Baseball left field rankings. This is always fun to do, these rankings. Left field, low-key, is a weak position this year. Low-key weak. But we're still going to do rankings for it. 30, Lane Thomas, Nationals. 29, Oscar Mercado, Guardians. 28, Seth Brown, Athletics. 27, Brad Miller, Rangers. 26, Justin Upton, Angels. 25, Jurickson Profar, Padres. 24, Trevor Lawrence, Twins. 23, Akil Baddoo, Tigers. 22, Clint Frazier, Cubs. 21, Austin Hayes, Orioles. 20, Aristides Aquino, Reds. 19, A.J. Pollock, Dodgers. 18, Jock Peterson, Giants. 17, O'Neill Cruz, Pirates. 16, Andrew Benintendi, Royals. 15, Alex Verdugo, Red Sox. 14, Eddie Rosario, Braves. 13, David Peralta, D-backs. 12, Lourdes Gurriel Jr., Blue Jays. 11, Starling Marte, Mets. 10, Michael Brantley, Astros. 9, Jorge Soler, Marlins. 8, Nicholas Castellanos, Phillies. 7, Randy Arozarena, Rays. 6, Tyler O'Neill, Cardinals. 5, Jesse Winker, Mariners. 4, Eloy Jimenez, White Sox. 3, Christian Yelich, Milwaukee Brewers. 2, Joey Gallo, New York Yankees. And number 1, Chris Bryant, Colorado Rockies. So Chris Bryant's projected to start in left field. I think he's going to be the best left fielder this year. With his move to Coors Field for 81 games of the year, I think he's going to put up 40-plus home runs. And he'll hit a lot as well. Joey Gallo, I think, will be a little bit better from a batting average standpoint, but he has a ton of power and he's a good defensive outfielder. And I think year 2 with the Yankees, he'll be much better than his less than half season, pretty much 2 months with the Yankees last year. I think Yelich will bounce back finally. But I have to punish him in these rankings because he was bad the last couple of years for his standards. Eloy Jimenez, injured last year. I think he's going to be great. Jesse Winker, career year, I think he takes a little bit of a step back. Tyler O'Neill, same thing. Randy Arozarena, I think, will be better. That's why he's up there. Castellanos, I think, will be the left fielder for the majority of the games with Kyle Schwarber at DH. So I really think the Castellanos playing in Philly will put up some good power numbers. Jorge Soler, I think, will have a power regression on the other hand because he's playing in Miami. But he's still a really good left fielder. And Michael Brantley, some of these other guys, even down to 14 on this list. 11 through 14, you have Marte of the Mets, Gurriel of the Blue Jays, Peralta of the D-backs, and Rosario of the Braves. I think any of those guys you could argue for the top 10. But I chose Brantley because he's a great all-around hitter, and he really hasn't shown signs of slowing down. It was between him and Marte. Marte, I think, there's always that stink of going to the Mets and being the big free agent ticket. Oh, it's with him and Max Scherzer. You would think one of them is going to disappoint because it's the Mets. It just feels very Metsy of one of them to disappoint. And then Peralta's super underrated. Gurriel's in a stacked lineup. So that's why Gurriel's up there. But I didn't put him in the top 10 because I just think he's a beneficiary of the Blue Jays lineup. And Rosario, role player on the champion Braves last year. Really solid outfielder as well. So there you have it for the left field rankings. Tomorrow's going to be center field. Thursday's going to be right. Friday will be DH. Monday will be starting pitchers. That's going to be a hard one to do. And Tuesday will be closers. Wednesday I'll reveal my top 100 overall players list. And Thursday will begin the season. So 9 more days till the start of the Major League Baseball season, which is going to be a ton of fun. All right, now I'm going to talk about last night's episode of the American Idol as well as the one from Sunday. So we'll start with Sunday's episode, actually. It was a special editions show. First up was a girl named Yoli Mayer, 26 years old of Miami, Florida. Katie gave her a no, and the gentleman gave her yeses. She performed an original. Then went Danielle Claval, 21 years old of Queens. She performed Warrior by Demi Lovato in a song called Trainwreck. Got 3 yeses from the judges. Then went Katria Love, 23 years old of Baltimore, Maryland. Got 3 yeses from the judges. She was on the Hollywood. Then went Brooks Kidd, 19 years old from London, Kentucky, performing Mad World. He was amazing. He got 3 yeses. Sage, 20 years old from Burbank, California, 3 yeses in. Maurice, 22 years old from Elgin, South Carolina, performing Whiskey Glasses by Morgan Wallen, 3 yeses in. Then went Israel McFarland, 21 years old, performing an original tune. Lionel gave him a yes, but Katie and Luke gave him a no. Or I'm sorry, Luke gave him the yes, and Lionel and Katie gave him the no. That's my mistake. Then went Ava Maybe, 20 years old from LA, got 3 yeses in. And it's Scarlett, 18 years old, who auditioned last year, made it to Hollywood but didn't go, performed an original song. She's from Hartford, Connecticut, got 3 yeses from the judges in the Hollywood. Then came the Hollywood round, which was last night. The genre challenge was first, and then on Sunday we'll have the duet challenge, which is always fun. The country genre. With mentor Lauren Elena. They had a mentor for every category, which was really cool. And they brought back Idol contestants from the past. Obviously, Lauren, the runner-up in season 10 to lead the Wise. You had Mike Parker go first, performing Burning House by Cam. Then you had Caitlin Roberson, Olivia Faye, Sarah Beth Tate. Then Kelsey Dolan went Things a Man Ought to Know by Lainey Wilson. Riley Madison performing Crazy by Willie Nelson. And Noah Thompson performing Burning House by Cam. All 7 of these contestants made it through into the next round. The R&B genre mentor was Season 2 winner Ruben Studdard. Za, the daughter of Nadia Turner, performed One and Only by Adele. Tobias performed Bridge Over Troubled Water. And Katria Love performed Tonight Is the Night by Betty Wright. Tobias and Katria made it through. Za went home. So Za is the first notable contestant that we saw audition go home. The indie folk genre was Lee DeWise. Who was the season 9 winner of Idol. And by the way, Lauren Elena was season 10. She lost to Scotty McCreery, so that was my mistake. Lee DeWise was season 9. Lauren Elena was season 10. So I got Lauren Elena's season right, but the winner wrong. And the runner-up in season 9 was Crystal Bowersox. I remember her. So Lee DeWise did the indie folk genre. Leah Marlene performed Skater Boy by Avril Lavigne. And Fritz Hager performed Unsteady by X Ambassadors. They both made it through. The soul genre. The mentor was Haley Reinhardt, who is a beautiful singer. She was on season 10, so she was in the same season as Lauren Elena. She was the third place, so second runner-up. Danielle Finn performed Easy on Me by Adele. Christian Gordino performed My Future by Billie Eilish. Kevin Googly performed Tired of Being Alone by Al Green. Candace Baker performed First Heartbreak by Tori Kelly. And Tristan Garrett performed Locked Away by Our City. All 5 contestants made it through. The rock genre. They showed Cole Holman performed Vienna by Billy Joel. And that group mentor was David Cook, the season 7 winner. And Cole made it through to the next round. Then the pop genre. Mentored by Jordan Sparks, who was the season 6 winner. Emerson Flora performed Love in the Dark by Adele. Then Morgan Gruber went. She was really good. Sir Blake performed True Colors by Phil Collins. Ava Maybe performed Roxanne by The Police. Sam Finelli performed Say Something by A Great Big World. Jacob Morgan went after, and then went Danielle Clavel performing I'll Never Love Again by Lady Gaga. Douglas Mills Jr. went in this group, and Nicolina performed Everything I Wanted by Billie Eilish. Emerson, Morgan, Sir Blake, Ava, Jacob, Danielle, Douglas, and Nicolina all went through. Sam went home. Sam was another notable auditionee that did not make it through this round. He's the autistic kid, 28 years old. Really inspiring. I thought he should have went through. I thought he was pretty good in this round. I disagreed with the judge's decision. But Sam handled it well. He had a lot of class. But I think that was the biggest snub of this round. I thought he was really good. Others. Contestants that did not go through. Delaney Renee, Mark Osborne, Luke Taylor, and Thomas Moran all did not go through. Notable contestants that did go through. Taylor Fagans, whose audition we saw, he had the original song and sung about Breonna Taylor, and it was just a really powerful audition song. And then he made it through Hollywood round 2. Lady K, there's another notable audition that made it through. Benny Maxwell, Eli Rowe, Sam Moss, Haley Slayton, Allegra Miles, and Dakota Hayden were among those that made it through to the next round as well. At the end of the show, the platinum ticket winners who were Hunter Girl, Kennedy Anderson, and Jay Copeland performed Don't Stop Believin' by Journey. They were phenomenal. I love Kelly Anderson. She's my favorite contestant so far. I think she's amazing. And Katy Perry announces at the end of the show that the platinum ticket winners get to pick their duet partners. But the judges paired the rest of the contestants together. So it's going to be a really interesting show on Sunday night. And we'll see who gets through and such. I mean, I would like to see Taylor Fagans and Lady K perform, hopefully, on this episode. And there's some other auditionees that I was disappointed I didn't get to see perform. There's a girl named Normandy from Baltimore that we didn't see. She was in episode 1. So that was the big one that I was disappointed in that we didn't see. So I wonder if she goes through. Cameron Champion we did not see. She was from the first episode. I don't think we saw Abigail Brooks last night either. She was pretty good. But we did see Sam Moss, who had the redemption audition. She made it through. And I don't think we saw Dan Marshall Griffith, who was the linebacker for Virginia Tech, the walk-on. And we did not see Carly Menkel or Tyler Maxey Wirt. So, hopefully we see all those people on the Sunday episode if they made it through. But if any of those people didn't make it through, then I think that Idol would have highlighted them. So, my question is, where are those people? Hopefully they're into the next round, because those are all really, really good auditionees that I think deserve a chance. All right, now move on to news and notes. For today, sad news in hockey. The owner of the Ottawa Senators, Eugene Melnyk, passes away at the age of 62. He had an illness. Thoughts and prayers to his family and the Ottawa Senators organization. That's just really sad. Melnyk is an owner that I've criticized on this podcast, but he was a good man. He did a lot for his community. He really cared about his team. It's just really sad now. I think that the Sens are going to go out and play hard tonight. That's one of the reasons why I took the over in the game. But I just wanted to not talk about the Melnyk news until news and notes. But it's just really, really sad. And Gary Bettman had a nice statement as well. And we'll see if the team's eventually sold in the long run or the daughters end up running the team. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander out for the rest of the year due to an ankle injury. I think the Thunder are just trying to tank. Jeremy Grant out for the season due to a left calf strain. That's a tanking move. The Celtics played last night without Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown due to knee injuries on the second of back-to-backs. Rob Williams to miss several weeks with a torn meniscus. They need him back for the playoffs, or else they're not going anywhere. They might be out in the first round if he's not back, especially if they play Brooklyn. Miles Turner done for the season as he recovers from foot stress reaction suffered in mid-January. That's another tanking move. So we talked about Paul George potentially coming back tonight. He practiced 5-on-5 2 days ago, but the team is waiting to see how he feels before clearing his return. Andre Iguodala came back for Golden State yesterday against Memphis. College basketball news: Sharif O'Neal to transfer after 2 seasons at LSU. So we'll see where he ends up. The Minnesota Twins signed Chris Archer, 1 year, $3.5 million. I like that signing for Minnesota. I think he can help them. Big ballpark. Some weak offensive teams in that division with the Guardians and potentially the Royals and the Tigers, depending on how their seasons go. NFL draft and news in general. Cincinnati cornerback Sauce Gardner receiving strong interest from the Giants and the Jets. I love Sauce Gardner. I think he could potentially go in the top 5. He's one of the better corners I've seen come out in the while. Right up there with like Surtain and those guys. Giants shopping James Bradbury as they look to move him before the draft. I think that he'll potentially be released if they don't trade him. I don't know what they can get back for him. Dolphins GM Chris Greer says that the team anticipates keeping Devontae Parker, but will listen to trade offers. This makes sense because of the Tyreek Hill thing, and they need to clear some money. 49ers GM John Lynch shuts down Jimmy G rumors as there's talks of them releasing him to clear up cap room. He's too good of a player, he says. I think they're going to keep him, and they should keep him because I don't think Trey Lance is ready yet. He's the Jordan Love of the 49ers. Bobby Wagner looking for a 1 year, $11 million deal, but the Rams do not want to meet that asking price. So we'll see where he ends up. I think the Cowboys are in play. I think he wants to go to a good team. I think the Buccaneers are in play now that Tom Brady's back. I think the teams in play are the NFC West teams not named Seattle, Tampa, Dallas, Green Bay, because I think Green Bay wants to make a splashy move to make Aaron Rodgers happy without, I know they just traded Devontae. And in the AFC, I think the Chiefs are going to be interested because they have some money to spend. I think that the Raiders would be great for Bobby Wagner. He would make a lot of sense there. I think maybe Denver and the Chargers. So the AFC West teams, the NFC West teams not named the Seattle Seahawks, and Tampa, Dallas, and Green Bay maybe. Albert Pujols announces that this is his final season. This is my last round, he says. So I think that there's going to be teams potentially doing a farewell tour for him. But not as crazy as Derek Jeter's and Mariano Rivera's, though. But he'll get some gifts from other teams. The NFL has a new diversity advisory committee to review its hiring policies in the light of ongoing criticism. I think it's smart for the league to do this, but we'll see who follows the rules here. The NFL announces Detroit has been chosen to host the 2024 NFL Draft over Green Bay and Washington, D.C. Good for Detroit. They have the Ford Center, which is a big arena, so they don't really have to worry about the weather. And the Lions will be starring on Hard Knocks this summer on HBO Max. That's really interesting. they were an interesting team the last month of the season. They're very competitive. They won some games. Jaguars not settled on the number 1 pick as Georgia defensive lineman Trayvon Walker is a realistic possibility to leapfrog Aiden Hutchinson for the top draft pick, which would be wild. But at the same time, Walker had a good year and helped lead Georgia to a national title. So there's the case for Walker there. But my number 1 right now, believe it or not, is Kayvon Thibodeau. And then Aiden Hutchinson. Trayvon Walker's up there. I love Sauce Gardner. I think this is a defense-heavy draft. I don't like any of the quarterbacks in this draft. In non-sports news, Russia says it will cut back operations near Kyiv to increase trust in peace talks. So we'll see where that goes. And Will Smith apologizes for the punch heard around the world. I was out of line and I was wrong. But I think Chris Rock needs to apologize too. He made the bad joke about Will Smith's wife, and that's what made Will Smith go off. So I think Chris Rock also owes an apology here too. All right, last but not least, my best bet of the day, brought to you by FanDuel. Interesting choices of games. Yesterday, my best bet was a winner laying the big number with the Miami Heat. And today I'm going to go under 231.5 between the Pistons and the Nets as a high number. I don't think Detroit's very good offensively. No Jeremy Grant. I love the under 231.5 between Detroit and Brooklyn. So I'm going to lay a unit on under 231.5 between the Pistons and the Nets. So there you have it for today's podcast. I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything from today, looking ahead to everything tomorrow. Center field rankings. We'll talk Survivor and Masked Singer on the show tomorrow. Then we have news and notes and best bet. I hope you guys have a great day, everyone.